Yeah. Yeah, so what? I'm in 01.
Don't get nervous, y'all. Don't get nervous.
I ain't that. Nervous of what? We talking to each other.
What it do, good people? Coming to you live from Taz TV 410. I'm your host, Taz Dane. Listen here, good people. Y'all know when I get excited, I stumble over my words. I'm all over the place. And yes. First of all, I'd like to say thank you, ladies, for joining the platform. I'm excited because I'm interviewing. I'm interviewing. You know, I everybody that's younger than me, I call the babies, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm interviewing the babies, and there's several questions I like to ask y'all because when I'm interviewing people that played in front of me, it's more so, you know, I got love, respect. But I got the same type of questions for y'all that I had. What I'm trying to say, I'm gonna ask y'all the same type of question that me and my guys thought all the time, like far as did the older ones, did y'all think y'all earned their respect? Did they pay attention to y'all? But we can get into all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all come from a lineage, a historic program as Western Doves. As y'all can see, I'm still rocking my dumb ball because I had to make it, had to stick my chest out because y'all could get a little cocky.
I don't approve.
Can y'all, we're gonna go around, and can y'all say y'all name, what class y'all graduated from, and yeah, we can start right there.
Well, let's start with the oldest. No, let's start with the oldest.
Ooh,
let's go.
Looks like she hopped off. So
where's Ro go? That's you. Where's Ro?
I don't know. She looked like she fell off. So I started.
Dantes, you're gonna have to look out for Ro coming back in.
Okay.
So, I'm Janelle, class of 03.
I am Jerry Hicks, class of 04. Oh, here's the oldie but goodie.
I'm gonna let Ro go since she's the oldest.
The oldie but goodie came back.
Had to try. What was the question?
Who are you and what's your class?
Rolonda Brown, class of 2001.
Sheesh.
I know, but it's crazy though. And then we didn't get a chance to celebrate our 20th year because of COVID.
So 20 years.
20 years. Ooh.
Go ahead, baby.
20 years.
And I am Nicole, and I am class of 2006.
Ooh.
Okay.
And you really 20.
No, not at all.
It's really year 22, bro. This is my year 20. So don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. Thank y'all again for joining the platform. Now, ladies, listen, before I come with my little pop shots and things of that nature, I like to say congratulations for all what y'all have accomplished as a team and individually. And I like to say, where y'all started out? Can y'all let the people know what program did y'all start out playing with first?
My first coach was Coach Selby. And he literally, he introduced me to basketball. He saw me one day. I was tall, and he was like, "Man, let me see what you can do." And he taught me everything I know. And I was started with the Cougars. I was playing AAU with the Baltimore Cougars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I started when I was 6 years old, and I started at Woodlawn Rec, I think it was. Started at Woodlawn, and I was like pretty decent. So they were like, "We got to find you real basketball." And so I ended up playing with the Cougars for like all AAU. I think I connected with them when I turned like 11. And I stayed with them through. Selby coached like a year higher than me. I was under Tim Barrows.
He's still coaching.
Right, he's still coaching, right. So I was under Tim Barrows for Cougars. I think like a lot of us played for Cougars back then. And then high school, I ended up going to the best high school, Western. Whoop, whoop. And here we are.
Okay, dope.
I started with Coach Telly Sullivan. I started playing with the buzzer beaters back then, but now they go by Baltimore Lady Lions or Lady Lions. And then once I got a little bit older, I started playing with the Cougars. Playing with Coach Selby and then Don Ches.
Which was, by the way, the whole Cougars team like went to Dunbar.
It was.
Right.
That's when practice was down Dunbar.
Yep.
That was the craziest thing. That's why I said, like, I started with Selby when I was 10 as well, at Northwood Rec. And that's when he was the director over there.
That's where I went. There you go.
That's where I was at. Northwood Rec.
Northwood, there it is.
Good job, bro.
My freshman year.
Okay,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
The same year he got the
say it again, though.
I said the same year he wound up getting a job at Dunbar it was my freshman year of high school. So I had already made the decision to go to Western, and then I found out he got the job, and my father was like, no, you're not leaving. So then I was like, all right, I'll settle for Western, and then found out that it had like a really good culture of, basketball, and then that's where I went. But Selby, I guess, had his hands on a lot of girls' basketball.
Now, ladies, now, before we get into the high school, what was the competition like? What was the competition like? Our 8th grade, it's time for y'all to pick it. You just now went into that. It sounds like you wouldn't have mind going with Coach Selby if you'd have known before you'd have got accepted to Western. But we're gonna that's neither here nor there.
That's true. So,
also Kim might log on. She's from like the legacy team that won everything. So
yeah. So when I first started out with Selby, I was looking up at Tiffany Silver, Latia Few, what was her what's her name? Francis. They call her Pooh. What's her name? Nillian. I think that's her name.
Oh yeah, Lil.
All of them were they were in like the practice before me. So like I kind of knew most of them just growing as we were growing up.
Now being a guard, right? Because it's a guard town, right? Being a guard,
all day.
I was that. Like give the people a little insight on the competition and going into high school, y'all playing against each other, or playing against each other and on the same team. At this time, you got Coach Selby accepting the job at Dunbar, and you got the legendary Western, right? We ain't even counting up the private schools. We got the legendary Western. What made y'all say, you know what? I want to be a part of this legacy, what they got, this program that they got going on over here. And can y'all tell the people, did y'all face any type of pressure playing for Western?
Well, to be honest, my parents, education was like very big to them, and sorry, other schools, but in Baltimore City, like Western, Poly City, where like the schools like you knew that you were gonna go to, you were gonna get they had like higher guidelines, and put your shirt down. They had higher guidelines for you to have to abide by in order to be successful. So I came from a private school. So it was like no way in the world that I was gonna go to just any school, just any school. So it was really like education was
no private
first.
schools. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it wasn't. You ain't like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a private school because they was good too.
No, I wanted to go to a private school, but the private school that I came from, I had some like racist things that happened while I was there, and I wanted to go to a private school, but my parents were like over the experience of me being at a private school.
Okay.
So they put me into a public school, which is where I learned how to be Black. Thank you.
Okay.
But I shadowed schools that wanted me.
You still learning that.
I shadowed schools that wanted me to play in high school private schools. And I would go and I was like, I'm not feeling it, because I still played with the Cougars.
Okay.
So how I played summer ball and travel ball, when it translated to school, like I would go shadow and I was like, this is not the same thing. Not at all. So
Okay.
yeah, so it wasn't happening in my household.
Now, what was there any females that you looked up to that and any of y'all can answer this? Was it what female basketball player that y'all seen? I don't care if they was a class ahead of you, or maybe 4 or 5, but you like, you know what? I love her game. I'm gonna try to take as much as I can out her game and put it in mine.
For me, it was go ahead, Ron.
No, you go ahead.
For me, it was Dana Johnson. So that was like one of the reasons I went to Western. Like she was the post player. Being 6 feet as a woman, in high school, I was a post player. So I just loved her game. I loved how strong it was. So that's what it was for me. And my story is similar to Jerry's. Like I was in a private school, so my parents wasn't just letting me go anywhere. It was Western Poly or City. That's it. Like that was my only options. So just knowing the legacy of Western basketball, I was like, oh, that's an easy choice. And all of my AAU teammates went to Western. So.
No, well, I didn't. So my story was like a little bit different when it came to like selecting Western. I literally selected Western off of academic standards first, because I was playing at Northeast and my best friend was a year ahead of me. So she started playing basketball at Cardinal Sheen. And in the private schools, you're allowed to have only 2 players that don't go to your school. So I wound up playing for Cardinal Sheen in middle school. And then of course, by her being a year ahead of me, she went to Western. So I don't know. I believe everybody know Robin Young. She was a year ahead of me. So that was my best friend at the time. And so I did 2, and by me playing at Cardinal Sheen, I was actually recruited by St. Francis. So then I take this back to my parents. I was like, I said, I want to try St. Francis. They was like, no, you're not Catholic. I don't understand about it. This is the logic that my father doesn't even like basketball. So he was like, no, you're not going there. Then
what? Your dad don't like basketball?
He didn't know, honestly, he didn't know how good I was until literally like my junior year. I was like, well, Dad, if you would have invested in me, you would have really seen like how good I was. His sport was softball. Oh, and by the way, Jerry, he's still looking for you to cook him some, what was it? Cakes and pies or something like that?
Was it pina colada cake? I think it was.
I don't know, but he still talk about it to you till this day. So my stepmother went to Western.
Okay.
So that's how I started going to Western. And then I started looking into the basketball team. And I was like, oh, okay. I made a great decision. And then I was like, oh, I don't really know her. And then my best friend was like, Reese Bishop is crazy. But I was like, no, I want to go to Dunbar. They was like, no. So all this was happening that 8th grade year. But yeah, I didn't really have too many. I'm not gonna say all the people I played with. I feel like I took some skills, took something from their game. So and at the time, everybody was just literally passing me in height, because the people I played with, like I want to say I was playing with Brooke. Brooke was my height when we was playing when I was like 10 or 11. I feel like everybody passed me in height. Stephanie was my height. Eventually, I had to be a
going
combo
to the
guard. I
next
didn't have a
level.
choice.
And now going into the next level, did that play any? Did that do anything to your mental? Like, oh, people catching up with me. Oh, I got to do X, Y, Z to get better. Like, because some people was good in middle school, and when they get to high school, they kind of like either people didn't caught up with them, they stop working, and they quit. They'll just say forget the game altogether, or they'll keep on going, but they kind of like fade to black. You know, I mean, it'd be like that. The girls and boys. So did you have that kind of fear in your mental?
I was always trying to beat the boys. I was outside playing with them damn near every day.
Okay.
Every day. So and most of the guys that I was playing against went to Dunbar. so like they was beating my ass just like I was trying to beat them. So
but you were still getting better. Now
yeah.
let's
playing
get
against
into
them. Playing
let's
against
get
them.
into high school, y'all. And I don't want y'all to be modest. I don't want y'all to no. Let's peel this onion back slow. Let's start freshman year. What was y'all thinking? What was your first day of school? You got coach, you got the legendary coach. I call her the GOAT.
I didn't have her.
Well, who did you get, bro, your freshman year?
So this is how. So whose freshman year you want to start at?
Right, because
let's start with yours.
It was
because
so let's go.
Let's go oldest to youngest.
Right.
Oldest to youngest.
Yeah.
So 1997.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. My bad.
So 1997. That was the year that Breezy Bishop actually left and went to, I think it was NC State. So then they bring in this new guy, Artie Ulich. I think they said he worked for I think he was a Secret Service guy for the president at the time. So I can't even remember the JV coach, but they was it? But they also had Dee Dee Cotton and
I forgot she was at Western.
Yep, and Coach John and they also had Coach John on staff. So those were the four people that was there. I have a clue. All I know is I was a decent player, but I had no clue of his background or anything of the sort. And to me, the way practices was ran and all this other stuff, he just lucked up because Breezy Bishop pretty much had already did all the work. He just had to show up.
Now I didn't. My sister was a senior, Taisha McMillan. Yeah. That year, right?
Love her.
My son's mother, Crystal Fallon, was a junior that year, right? Yeah. Now, and I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I'm not trying to be biased, but the man had my sister come off the bench her senior year, and she still made Metro. I don't know what he was doing with Crystal. Crystal getting double since she was a freshman at Western, and I don't know what he was doing. I understand she hurt her knee. I get that, but go ahead, talk.
You're on mute, bro.
Busting out my little person. She plucked my nerves. She just He nosy. I don't even know what the question was.
So at the Archie, who you had next? What was next up?
He was there. So he was there for my freshman and sophomore year. And my sophomore year, all right, my freshman year, they asked me, they was like, Coach John was like, you want to play on varsity? He's like, if you play on varsity, you're going to be like third string point guard. He was like, or you could be on JV and you could start. And I was like, Yeah, I'll be on TV. I want to play.
Yeah, you want to play.
And our JV team went 25-0 that year. Won the city won the city championship. And then my sophomore year, I got passed over because they didn't want to cut a junior that was definitely not better than me. I don't remember her name. And that was like the hardest thing ever.
Oh, you remember her name?
Right.
Yeah, you remember her name.
I know her first name was like her first name was Taisha, I believe. I don't remember.
Yeah,
her
well,
last
you
name.
remembered it.
Absolutely, because she was not better than me.
But that's crazy. Wait, but that's
play.
crazy to hear though, because your junior, you got cut sophomore, your junior year, that was my first year there, but she was our starting point guard. So how do you go from getting cut to being the starting point guard the next year? That's crazy, yeah.
That's crazy. Like I want to ask the question, do y'all, and I made sure to ask this a little later, because this is for all y'all. Do you think that's what the program kind of like changed? Like y'all was getting like everybody, but then once he came in there, it was kind of like.
Yes, so I have, I feel like the way it was, I feel when Coach Selby was at Northwood Rec, he was kind of like a feeder program for Western. And then once he got his own team, now everybody that he had went with him. So now no one really came to Western after he got the job. I don't remember. It wasn't too many people that came from the Cougars after he wound up getting a job down Dunbar. So
like your experience different than like our experiences, because like I made varsity my freshman year with Archie.
Yeah.
And I followed up with Don Chez as my coach, and then Dana Johnson as my coach.
Wait,
so
wait, you switched
it. You switched it. You switched it.
Yeah. You switched it, so it's the other way around.
And then Don Chez. So with that being stated, like I had of course I didn't like it when Archie was there. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I hated it. Like I was like, it was
terrible.
It was terrible. Like, and I was a freshman. I was excited to make varsity, but I still didn't like the system. And then it was like I still fought through it.
Was it a system?
It wasn't a system, but you know what I'm saying? Like it was an organization.
He was winning off of talent. Like
that's exactly what it was given.
Whatever was left.
Well, thank God we missed that. So
then it followed up, and then you had the era of Don Chez, right? So Don Chez coached at the Cougars. He was big in the world, right? As far as the basketball game. So then it was like that started bringing talent back into the program. So then what is that? What's that, your freshman year, Jerry? Or Nikki, that's your
that was my freshman year.
That's my junior year?
Because Dana, so Artie
did you 2 years in front of me.
Artie did 3 years with me.
Right.
Artie did 3 years with me. So Dana came my senior year.
Right.
And like she was fresh off of ABL. So she didn't really know anybody.
Wait, so Dana came your senior year. Oh, wait, so you were a senior and I was a freshman.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, wait, I thought you were a junior.
Dana left my freshman year.
Right.
Yeah. So when I came in, it was Dana. And I tell everybody the story. I came in, I knew I was gonna be on varsity. I was like, this is easy. I came from the Cougars. Like I was like, I'm gonna be on varsity. And I walk in and Dana said to me, you can't play varsity basketball unless you play volleyball. I was like, excuse me?
That sounds just like her.
I was like, what?
That
excuse
just
me?
like her.
So literally everybody here play volleyball. But I actually fell in love with volleyball. So thanks to her, I really got a second first love.
I only did it to speed up basketball.
Yeah, so I did volleyball because of Dana, and then she was there for 2 years?
Yeah.
1 year?
No, it was 2.
It's either one or two.
She got
Definitely
coach
not
of the
three.
year. I know
was
she got
I think
it was
coach of the
2
year one
years.
year.
It was 2 years. Okay. And then
Because she
Donchez came.
Yeah, because she wound up getting involved. She wound up coaching guys her third year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she was with us 2 years, and that was like she built a really good relationship with us within those 2 years. We hurt when she left, and then Donchez came, but he kind of picked it up. So he was a good coach as well. So
I got a bone to pick with him too, though.
See, my era was Donchez and Tiffany Silva. So Donchez was my coach my freshman through junior year, and then Tiffany was my coach my senior year. And much like Dana, she told me Coach Donchez told me I had to run track. So mine wasn't volleyball, mine was track. But like he said, like Jerry said, I ended up being good at it. So
yeah. So also let's look at these coaches. Weston's a stepping stone because they all did college, and you know,
I still want to
did some
take
great things.
Now, how did y'all feel though? Because y'all, now what do that? I want to ask y'all, what do that do to a player when you have these changes every year? You got different systems and things of that nature. How did that make y'all feel?
It prepared me for college, honestly. Like, cause so when I got to JUCO, the same coach that recruited me wasn't the same coach that coached me. And then my coach, when I got to Hofstra, going into my senior year, I ended up with a new coach. So I realized, like, there's a love for it. You got to enjoy the game. Like, you can't take it personal. It's a business. Right. So that's what I learned firsthand. Like, with this it wasn't personal. Like, I still love Donchez to this day. I still love Dana to this day. I still love the coach that recruited me for CCRI in Rhode Island.
You didn't say Archie.
All of them. But like, it's nothing personal. Like, I get it. It was a business.
Yeah.
Now it's good that you, because a lot of people, male and female, at that time, like myself, I didn't notice it was a business until I got to college. You know what I'm saying? So if you can focus on that earlier, I think that's better for your your future.
Don kind of.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say,
let us know that from the beginning. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Also we went to Western, so we were really smart, and we kind of, we grasped that it's a business. We were just on that level. But I would honestly say, I think at that school, you have to also remember Weston's like a sisterhood. So we, like, the team, no matter what, that our team was going to be a team. So we kind of relied on each other, and it was like, as long as these people were here, we just gonna rock with it. Like, what else are you gonna do? Because what do you say? I'm not gonna play.
But it's even deeper than that, because not only is your teammates your team, the older Doves are your family too. Yeah. So they always encourage coming back. They come into practice with you. They, literally in practice, practicing with you. So you always had our alumni coming back to help out. So, I mean,
that's love.
Yeah, I personally used to hang out with, like, as a freshman, like Stephanie Talbert we lived with one block over from each other. Like, my grandparents was big on, like, I couldn't really go with people. And Stephanie was a senior. She would literally call my grandmother and be like, I'm about to come get Hughes, because that's what she always told me. I would be all the way out in PG playing in a breast cancer tournament with Rose.
We did it all the time.
Like, we going down to DC in October to play the breast cancer.
I want to say literally, after our 4 years at high school, we still continued to play together for an additional 3 years. I remember traveling to Delaware, and we was like four cars deep, just to go play. I want to say, and that's what Stephanie too. We went to go play one of her roommates' friends, because they were from DC. She was like, "Oh, just ride up." We was always playing together.
But Janelle talking about Steph. Janelle used to have
shout out to Stephanie.
Yeah, Janelle used to have all the freshmen at her house.
Like, so Stephanie. It was like, really? I turned into Steph, because they would just show up at my house. Like, we just come to my house, like, and I was a senior and they were a freshman.
That,
See,
that's
how
how,
it's
but
supposed to be though. They
that's
gave
how I
you
was
that.
introduced in 8th
Yeah,
grade.
that's how it's supposed to be.
Cause she was a freshman, I was
y'all,
8th grade.
now, y'all, we about to get into it a little bit. Now, everybody had some fun. We about to talk about some games, some teams. I want to know. Let's start off light ball. Let's get y'all some softballs. The city. Let's go there. The city. I want to know y'all record. And I want to know, other than the city championship, what other teams gave y'all a run for y'all money?
Nobody.
Y'all
What do you mean?
surprised?
Nobody.
I mean, we
No,
always like to play Dunbar and play.
Dunbar is
Dunbar.
literally
like y'all cut
the
heat
only
on
team that was
Y'all
competition.
ain't played Mercy or nothing in no tournament or nothing.
Mercy.
But
Yeah,
whoever
tournament.
we,
St.
there
Fran-
was never
St.
any
Francis.
competition.
So,
We
What
had
about
no, my year St. Francis was a little competition because Angel McCartry and all of them was playing. What's
He
the
didn't
school? I
play.
forgot. Big K. Remember Big Cali? What she was
played
somewhere
at
in
Bryn
Puget
Mawr. Remember
County.
we played in that Bryn Mawr tournament my senior year, but I ain't played that night because I broke my jaw the night before.
Yeah, that was
Oh
trash.
yeah.
my schedule was
That's
trash.
all.
Remember, my schedule was trash.
How many
We came
times
over. We didn't see competition until the states.
Yeah,
Like
a lot
at
of
the
it.
time,
You know who
when
was-
I was playing, at the time when I
And
was
it was
playing,
really
we was
the
giving, like,
states. That was
Mhm.
it. That was it.
we was
But it
giving,
was Suitland.
people like,
I was about to say
like
that.
60.
I was about to say Suitland.
It was
Because
Suitland.
Suitland even beat the Legends.
Suitland, Largo,
Suit-
Duval.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I think it was a lot of
I
DC
love
Dunbar.
teams
greatness.
that
I love
were
greatness. I love
PG
greatness.
out that
Y'all was
way.
like, who? Ain't nobody touch us. So let's get straight to it then. Let's talk about when Dunbar. Let's talk about when y'all played Dunbar. The first time y'all knew y'all was gonna be in a game head on out. Like, oh, this ain't the old Dunbar. This is a different Dunbar. Like, talk to me. I'm gonna let y'all flow.
I can tell you, that was back then when I was a freshman. I don't know, did y'all ever have preseason basketball? So we played. So this is when
On
we
your
had
age, girl.
Yeah, we had preseason basketball, and we were split in two places. So they had like the ones that were kids that were going to be on JV, and then it was girls that was going to be on varsity. And my freshman year, they threw me on with the varsity team. We was playing at the College of Notre Dame. So we was playing on a college floor preseason basketball. I guess that was back then when people really cared about basketball in the city. And we was playing against other city teams in Dunbar. That was kind of like the first time I seen them play. I was like, okay. And then that following year, I think preseason was at Mervo, and that was a battle. And the thing about that is that the gym was packed. It felt like a regular game, and I'm like, this is preseason. So, and that was we was going up against, or was that my junior year? It was going up against Keisha, Nikki, Tierra, who else? It was a couple of them, but it was some battles. And that's preseason. So
that Keisha and Tierra battle and Tiff.
Yeah, they were tough.
Oh, that shit used to blow me.
Because I mean they were rebounding beasts for real. And then you had Tony on the outside hitting the jump shot. And
now I know the game was fun though. At the end of the day, I know the game was fun because
you always want.
I mean, myself, I like to play against competition. Especially, I love to play against competition. You know what I'm saying? You play better when you got somebody pushing. And then they the new kid on the block. How did y'all feel like y'all here in Dunbar now? And how y'all feel that y'all had to share spaces? Y'all had to share space with them.
I know they taught.
I think that's Janelle Rowe era.
I was about to say, I know Dunbar torched us the first time in the regular season.
It was.
I when they beat us.
Yeah, that was more of like man row era for the battles, because that was like, I remember my freshman year, like I was like, yo, what the hell? And then you got down Dunbar, it always felt like the heat was on the gym.
I was about saying their gym
the
is
floor
like
was wet because the pool under the floor, like it's under there, so the floor was wet. The gym was wet.
Ain't had good lighting. It just wasn't a good experience.
What you talking about? We don't have good lighting.
Y'all
gym old.
That's the one thing I remember about Dunbar. It used to be 99 degrees in there.
It was like Coach Selby cut the heat on in that joint before we showed up.
All the time.
Bus is hot as hell. We like, God damn it, on warm-up line.
See, my era, all of the Dunbar players was our AAU teammates. So we had Shalane and Ashley Chase and
same here.
All of them, yeah. So
we were used.
It was still competition, but it was like.
But we also knew we knew who we were playing against. We knew their game, so it was like just who played
with them all
the other
long.
game the best, because we just we knew what they were gonna do. But they were still our rivals, but it really, at that point, it didn't really matter because it was just, we had to focus on states. But when I say those games were crazy, like the stands were packed. I remember my freshman year at Western, the stands were completely packed. And it probably was like my first game where it was crazy because of like students and parents and everybody. And play AAU, a lot of people came, but for AAU, for girls, like you were having like your friends and your parents. It wasn't much of anything else. It was like the loudest thing. And I remember it may have been the next year or the year after, Western got a new gym. And I had never been so thankful to have less bleachers because we couldn't have the same crowd in there. So the atmosphere, it was strong, but it still wasn't as bad because my nerves were really crazy my freshman year. So I was like, thank God we got less bleachers. But
man, I remember my sophomore year playing at Dunbar. You know how they like introducing the players, and so they calling out our names. So they like saying our name, and they shaking the paper like, who? Like, who? And that was the year they had beat us for the city championship or the state regional, the state, something. They had beat us for one of the big games. I don't think it was city championship, but they had beat us for one of the big games. And so they was holding the paper from the year before, from when they had beat us, and like shaking it like, who?
Oh wow,
that was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. No, but those other teams, look, I think we made it our goal to try to get to 100. Did y'all? How many teams did you play and got to 100?
Several, all of them, except Dunbar. Except Dunbar and Poly. That's probably it for me.
Yeah, I'm not.
And no, Poly wasn't really like that for us until the later. Yeah. So now we're kind of in the era of Poly. Poly's doing great things, but it didn't start till we were leaving.
So she got there.
When Coach Peace got there. Let's not forget. Let's shout out to Coach Peace.
Yeah, Peace got there. She really took them somewhere else. Yeah, and that's in all sports, because she did volleyball there too. So she's created a different story for Poly there.
Whole athletic pro, changed the whole athletic program.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask y'all. Y'all won the state championship last year. How y'all feel about the program now and what direction is going in? And
I will not comment on that.
No comments.
I don't know what that means.
I will not comment. So I'm gonna just say that Western has never lost the Forest Park. So
what you say?
Western has never lost to Forest Park ever in the history of Western high school. We lost the Forest Park this year, and so it's kind of like.
So I know they're really rebuilding this year, because last year they had one very strong player who took over everything, no matter what game it was.
But they had two.
No, they had two, but you had one that she's gonna go out there and she's going to take the entire show from everybody.
Oh, that little mama, right?
Yeah, right, little mama. So they lost strength. So they're in a rebuilding situation.
But I feel like they've been in this situation for the last 4 or 5 years, honestly, because we've lost the poly for the last
So
few years.
I have a personal connection to
Go ahead
Western
and
because I
talk, Nicole. Go ahead and
still go
talk.
back and coach, and I know a lot of those people. I will not speak, but it has been it's been an experience, and I would just say it's not the same experience that we had while we were there.
Right.
The atmosphere is different. I think that's for a school as a whole. The sisterhood is a little bit different, and I think when we were at school,
Generation is different.
it really was like it's Western. Like we were better than everybody because it was Western, because we were at
Right.
Western. So we had that pride in ourselves. So we were going to fight no matter what. I think that pride is gone in Western. Like
Yeah.
we
Western
knew,
prior to, I mean, after I
Alright, so
graduated, I
what-
feel like that lost. It lost it the year I left. Like everything
Mhm.
after that was kind of like downhill. It's
Yeah.
like the tradition of Western is kind of like falling off.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that maybe it started in 2010, but it was a slow decline. I can say, and I don't know if it's a generational thing, but I don't feel like they hold themselves to a higher standard. Like that was something that we prided ourselves on, being Western Doves, and quiet dignity and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
Can I just say, I feel like that starts with like the leadership. Like
it's
Well,
always
and
Let's
when it
even
comes to
take
like
this back.
I was going to ask
when it
y'all,
comes to
I'm gonna
the
ask y'all what
no,
y'all
because I'm gonna
think.
say this, when it comes to the tradition of Western, like we have unity, Unity Day. That is the biggest thing, like before senior inauguration. Like Unity Day is huge for our school.
Mhm.
So like when they try to remove that, it was kind of like, all right, I see what
Yeah.
y'all doing here.
And it's crazy because I know Mr. Dunbar over there, you wouldn't necessarily understand, but a lot of the schools don't understand because we are like deeply rooted in tradition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're almost
But
like,
we not.
I mean,
Nah, it's
Not-
different
not
though.
like
I'm
us.
not saying
Not
y'all
like us.
nothing
not.
like any
All
other
right, y'all
school.
the first people. Y'all listen. Y'all the first female high school in the city of Baltimore.
Public.
Right.
We the first black.
we are
We the first black high school in the city of Baltimore as well.
But just-
But
And
your
not to
culture
compare
changed.
us, but our legacy and what we came into there is really like a sorority. Like there are
Right.
rules, there are
Yeah.
guidelines. When you walk in, I could look at everybody who was there before me and be checked like already, like, oh, I know what I need to be. I know what level of greatness I need to be. And I was a knucklehead. I used to get in
And that's
trouble,
on
and
the
they
court
would
and
check.
off
When
the
I say
court.
they would check
Yeah.
me, that's wherever I was. They'd check
Yep.
me. But it really was a true standard. And Baltimore City, I'll say a lot of it is just like Baltimore City. They've taken a lot of the administrative control away from administration there. So you can't get put out of Western for the things that we got put out for.
Right.
Like you couldn't fight at all. One fight you put out. You couldn't fail you
about
can't
you?
fail more than
2
two classes.
classes.
You get put out.
How about you fail and go to summer school and you still get put out?
Yeah, so you could get put out like this. So you knew if you wanted to stay there, you had to be great. And you had that pride, that chip on your shoulder, because
It's so
nobody else had
serious
to
at
work
Western
like us.
that when you graduate, not only do you get a Baltimore City diploma, you get a Western High School diploma.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you
Okay.
actually graduate with an additional, I think
Ours wasn't that tough.
between
I
9
ain't
to
gonna lie,
11
we took
extra
it.
credits. So
With the
Right.
we wasn't
You
doing all
could
that.
see a
So, I
dub
do
from
know.
like 1950, and it's like y'all knew each other for life, and you never met
Right.
them, but it's
That's
just like
love.
a strong.
even with those traditions of graduating in a white gown, a white dress, I was like, what they put in place pretty much was trying to make us stand out, and
Right.
it was just on a slow decline. I don't, and like you said, it starts at the top. So
Yeah.
Man, listen, before we get out of here, is there anything y'all like to tell the people? Because this was a great conversation, and we definitely gotta do it again. Yeah, y'all gonna bring more we gonna find Tony, we gonna find Keisha, we gonna find Tiffany. Like I appreciate y'all. Like y'all don't understand. Like I be wanting more females to come on and just share their story. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not, my whole thing is getting all the stories. Baltimore, regardless, has a tradition. Male and females played this game at a high level. Y'all like blood, sweat, and tears. And what I'm learning right now, I know sorry, Dunbar, but the tradition that y'all talked about, and what you do, a Western diploma and a high school, like you,
Diploma.
that's big. And I'm pretty sure, like if the schools was still going about it the way right now, it'd be a better school and it'd be a better basketball team. So it's man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
Well,
a good
you hit it right
conversation.
on the nail by saying that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, to me, about just the overall basketball in Baltimore City for girls is terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's definitely had a decline.
And it's not just the generation. And it's sad because, of course, when I was playing, it used to be maybe a total of 5 or 6 schools that we wasn't blowing them out by like 30, 40 points, because that's ridiculous. But we did have some challenging schools that we play against, and a record. Out of 25 games. But now is literally, everybody knows only maybe 3 schools.
Yeah.
That
let's go even deeper than that. Out of the 3 schools that are competing, when they leave high school, how many of those girls on that team have some type of scholarship or have the opportunity to play at the higher level? So like, we came from a town where women's basketball was highly competitive, and we really had college scouts coming to see our games, and not because one person was playing.
Right.
You had a plethora of people to pick from. Now it's kind of like you have 1 or 2 girls, and we're blessed that some of my other girls get seen during those games, but really they get seen during travel ball more than high school now.
Yep.
So we don't really have the same strength in women's basketball as we did definitely during our era.
I know it's also a lot of restrictions on coaching and the stuff that you can actually do in the summertime to really focus on skills. Because the reason why I'm saying all this is because I've been coaching the last 15 years. This is my first year. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Taking a whole break.
Bro, don't act like our coaches didn't have restrictions either. They just didn't care.
Right.
I mean,
no, they definitely had restrictions, but
that's what I was saying. Like, coaching in those 4 major schools, City, Poly, Western, and Dunbar, it's a political position. Like, it all depends on who might go where, who may play what, and they have high expectations. So being that coach, it comes with a lot of pressure, as well as, you got to still know your stuff. So not having not having any talent coming into your school is really hard. And I know people say this and say that, but I couldn't coach in the city now. Take it honestly, I don't even want to coach high school kids. It's too much you gotta prove to them to let them know that you can. I don't need to be out here
It's like
trying
they
to
want
show
to play you
you
one-on-one. I
know
the girls try to. The boys do the same thing. Like they want to see you play, or they want to see a highlight or something. Like show you, and they ain't did nothing.
Like, and I'm like, and you can't, and you gotta prove it. Like, you can't even make a layup. You telling me I gotta prove this to you? It's too much work. It's too, and then they don't want to work. They don't want to work hard, even though they have all this access to all these skills that they can do. Let alone then they got a trainer, and then they all this other
and
stuff.
let me tell you something. The boys reclassifying, That
You
right
mean
now,
you
that's
just mean
crazy
people
to me.
reclassifying. Girls are
Look,
reclassifying too.
hey,
They
John,
are,
you
they
right.
are, but it's really heavy on the boys' side. But
I
it's
bet.
crazy because we would have never
I would
ever thought
never
about it.
say.
Because
I'm
reclassifying,
not
like I
saying an
failed,
additional
I
year.
gotta do this, I gotta do this grade again.
I'm not saying an additional year.
Look at
Exactly.
Taz. Taz like, man, y'all starting me up. Look at him.
Right.
Look, right? Because I'm like, man, that right there is a whole nother show.
It's a
Yeah.
whole nother show.
But even for me, it's like coaching in Baltimore City, especially, well, boys and girls, for real. My biggest issue, I was used to coach at Northwestern before they closed. My biggest issue was not only do you want to see how talented I am, but you're not even passing your classes. So I'm battling talent and classes. Like, what?
Yeah.
Kids be forgetting that, basketball is a 4-month season.
Mhm.
Like, you can be pretty good when you first start out, but you got to maintain it.
Yes.
4 months.
Bring
So
the
you have a report card coming out in the middle of the season.
Yep.
Let's not talk about this, y'all.
I was gonna say,
Jerry, you. Yeah.
I'm that one. I started the season. I got put off because of my grades. Then my grades came back up, and I came back on right like playoff time and states, and I was back.
Yeah.
Nobody, kids they completely forget about that. So,
Man, I remember Miss Ewan. I failed her class for like.
Miss Ewan too. Oh.
Yeah. You had to have a 70. You had to have a 70 to play when we was playing. So that's the first thing. You had to have a 70.
That's how good it was.
C average.
You had to have a 70 to play when we was playing, and then I failed Miss Ewan class.
Keep talking, y'all.
With like a 68. I failed her class with like a 68. She made me sign a contract to say I was going to get a 90, or she was going to fail me, so I would have missed the end of the season. So I had to sign a contract. I had to go to coach class every day. But I mean, she passed me, so
thank God.
I got to play.
No, I didn't really start failing until after basketball season.
Right. Miss Smart.
It was that spring sport that struggles you, huh?
Yeah.
Because the weather was nice, and you was like, and you play softball, so it was one of those things like, it's nice outside.
Senioritis kicked in right after basketball.
I'm gonna say for right now, but just before we close out, I think we need to give a big shout out to the ADs that are doing it right now, because I think they have a lot on their shoulders. I think Rolonda Small is doing an amazing job at Western. I think Dana Johnson's doing an amazing job at Dunbar. So they're, I think they have a lot, because it's really a lot of politics now. It was then at Western, no matter what, you always gonna hear politics at Western.
Always will be.
But now it's kind of across the board. So, and I still, I'm still coaching in Baltimore City. Nicole's still coaching in Baltimore City. Ro, you're gonna take your break. I hear you.
I'm enjoying
but
it.
we're still mixed into it. So you have a love for it. You go back and you give back.
Bro, I stepped away from basketball. I coach track now.
Yeah, and I'm in volleyball now. I coached at Western underneath Daphne when she was there. Daphne Blakeney. And after that, I was like,
Walbrook.
At Walbrook,
and I'm gonna tell you something. I learned a lot about basketball from that woman.
Of
She
course.
can. When I say she can make a fundamentally sound basketball player,
she can.
She can do that. She's very
told
good
me
at
all
that.
my
Definitely coached me. She coached me up Leaf Walk.
Oh, really?
I used to play back in the day when I played. Daphne used to play with me. And, like just sitting and picking her mind, you'd be like, oh, yeah. And her son doing great things, too.
Yeah,
that's a basketball family for sure.
Yeah.
But, I was coaching in the private sector. So I started at a Jewish school called Beth Phila.
Oh, okay.
And then I was at Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Okay.
And then,
shout out to them with the good open gyms back in the day.
Right.
I heard they got a play over there right now. They got a ball over there right now.
You said Our Lady of Mount Carmel. What'd you say? Yeah, and then
my fault. I was just talking about it's a player over there. They got a special player over there right now that I keep hearing about. But go ahead.
Talking about Howard.
Listen, you talk about you and my fault.
Look, I told you I'm everywhere. Hey, one of the reasons why I left. These spoiled kids. I'm trying to tell you, they spoiled. They don't want to work hard.
Not at all. You tell them running suicide, they ready to quit.
Yeah,
They like
but some of them.
what?
But let me tell
That's
you
what you
something.
do
The
in
ones
the
that act
game.
like that, a lot of them, and it depends on the school and the atmosphere. That's the star player.
It is.
Like, how you not
Now
working
listen,
hard?
y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all to come back on here. No, but this is gonna be a male and female because this conversation that I'm having right here, I have a lot, right? And last year around this time, it was an AU organization, right? I'm not gonna say the name, but a conversation came up about getting kids from the city, and they said that they was not going. Yeah, that they gonna bypass the kids from the city and continue to go elsewhere. Now, I get emotional sometimes. I'm a Scorpio, right? And I love Baltimore City, but I'm not foolish to the point that I see what's going on. But first I took the angle like, how can you not get somebody a try though? Because I know you just can't overlook them. At least give them let them mess up on their own, right? Not just automatically cancel. However, some of the stories that I've been hearing, some of the go to a game, the postures, you could tell like I can see where if I was a coach or if I'm recruiting, I can understand now where they coming from. You know what I'm saying? I still don't agree with it totally, but I understand where they coming from.
Yeah,
so
that's
this conversation.
Look, I work in the school system now, so I'm like, F them kids.
F them kids.
Yes. I just like, look, I'm just gonna let, if anybody's watching this more than likely was my last year in Baltimore City coaching. Hi, private schools.
No,
so I've already like kind of, and I get it. I definitely get it.
Private schools are worse. F them kids.
Man.
I love it. I say it every year with a nice little shot. F them kids. And I work in elementary school.
I'm in high school.
Oh,
all right, y'all, we about to get up out of here, man. Thank y'all again. Y'all always welcome. And like I said, if y'all need me to do anything, post anything, promote anything, I'm at y'all. I'm right here.
Great. I'll send you my real estate business. Great.
You gotta show them articles that I sent you.
All right, I definitely do that. And with the real estate, you guys send me a card or two.
I'll send you. Don't worry, I'm well branded. I'll send you everything.
Tell people, tell y'all. Listen, if it's your
go follow me on J Bozeman Homes Instagram. I'm Jerry Bozeman. I'm a real estate agent. I'm really bomb. I'm actually amazing at what I do. I'm with the Realty One Group Universal. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. Buy a home. You can do it. We can all do it. Black wealth.
Yes.
Buy a home, and apparently you can bake.
Oh, yeah. I used to have a bakery and a catering business. I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I do. But I focus on real estate now.
I'm gonna tell my father. I'm telling him.
Hold on. So just another plug for her. She catered my friend's she catered my friend's birthday party. When I say she made these taco and jerk chicken, listen, everybody was at the party like, what in the world?
Thank you.
Good.
So I'm taking a nice little hiatus from coaching, and I am now training elementary, middle school kids. F them high school kids.
Now hold up, you gotta get the people your information for the ones that have kids that want to be trained.
See, then there's gonna be a lot of people out. Nope.
Hey, you better get that business.
You better get that.
All right. Listen, look, she'll back you on that.
Contact Dantes, and I gotta do all this. No, I like who I have. I vet my people.
She's exclusive. We'll put it there. She's exclusive.
I really am. because you
So,
know,
but people
because one of
forget
the
all that.
hardest things, is getting a gym, and then it's just a lot. It's just a lot. But I'm just saying, I'm just taking my little break. I just love seeing their eyes light up and really be engaged in the game of basketball, instead of dealing with those high school kids that you got to do too much. So that's what I'm doing.
Thanks again, Tess.
Thank you. Thanks for
it's
having
been
us.
great.
Janelle, you didn't give us your plug.
I don't want no plug. What you mean?
Adidas for
You
life.
the Adidas
Yeah, I was
plug.
about to say.
You see that on the wall? That's what
Yeah, I was about to say.
She the Adidas
That's
plug.
Yeah, go ahead, Janelle.
No, I don't got no plug. The Adidas on the wall. That's the plug.
Adidas
All
on
right,
the wall.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug me.
Where can people reach you at? What's your you on Instagram, anything?
What's my Instagram?
She don't want nobody to
Oh
reach
my
her.
gosh,
She don't give
Janelle.
discounts,
Nobody
nothing.
Janelle, I'm with you, Janelle. See,
Janelle.
Janelle was taught right.
Nah. Go ahead, Nikki. Plug yours. I
catch
got
me
great
in
plug.
person.
I'm going to the 76ers game tonight. They play in Portland, so I'm out of here.
Have
Oh, all
fun.
right.
See you, twin.
All
Thank
right,
you for
see y'all
joining us.
later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So I have a run company called Runners Run. So you can find us at Runners Run _ on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that.
Run is run.
Run is
Run is
run.
run.
Run is
All
run.
right,
I ain't like running.
y'all. Again, I'd like to thank y'all. I'm gonna be posting this soon. You know, maybe tonight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to post it tonight. So it'll come out tomorrow. But I like to thank y'all again, man. We got
Western forever. Bye, Dunbar.
Only the best.
Only the best.